My name is Sarah Mikhail. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Time Out Youth. I am someone who was really fortunate to find my career passion really young. So in college, I started as a fashion major. I was really interested in fashion, but I had a roommate who was a social work major. And so I took some classes and started volunteering in an after school program, switched my major second year, and have been a student and lover of social work ever since. Social work is a deep passion of mine, but there's a lot of work to be done around what it means to advocate for someone versus to allow someone to advocate for themselves. And I see my role as a leader to be in the rooms that I'm in where young people aren't, to speak for them, but also to bring them along with me whenever I can. And young people are, particularly queer young people, are the bravest, most brilliant and creative young people that have taught me my whole life. Young people will just never have stopped surprising me, and I will always want to advocate for them, even when I'm maybe too old to be the one doing it. So in 1991, Time Out Youth was founded by Tonda Taylor, really finding through her own family struggle, through having a brother struggle during the height of the AIDS epidemic, and realizing that there was no spaces for young people to come together. And so we were born out of something that I'm really proud to say is still at the core of what we do, which is social and emotional support. I think that the first Time Out Youth group in April of 1991 was young people sitting around a room in some chairs talking about what it means to be queer. And we're sitting in a room like that today. So that social emotional support with an adult guiding that conversation, I think was an amazing way to say during a time when it felt really unacceptable to be open and talk about your queerness, and young people being rejected from their families, to have an adult say, hey, let's come and share what it means. Time Out Youth currently has really robust priority areas that we serve that I'm really proud to say completely knocked all of our goals out of the park from 2025 to 2026. That is in the areas that we focus most on. So that's our mental health counseling, being able to serve young people with 2 full-time therapists that are around the clock busy seeing young people in this space, and also offering virtual therapy, something that is really meaningful for youth who really need a therapist who aligns with their identity or is trained in understanding their experiences in the world, and they might not be able to get here. Our housing program has 2 dedicated staff members who housed 47 young people last year and provided over $70,000 in emergency financial assistance. Anything from supporting their security deposits, first month's rent, to paying for clothing for a new job so they could put their best foot forward to get their pay stubs to keep their housing, to pay for car repairs, because that's the only way that young people are getting to where they're going. So our housing program really covers what I want to say are like our young people's wants and needs. We also have what I consider the backbone of what we do, which is an amazing programs team that provides unique, creative, exciting opportunities for young people every day, from our camp out program that take young people to Carowinds and kayaking and to do pottery, just new experiences, to coming into this space and playing games and setting New Year's resolutions and talking about what you're thankful for during holidays, and our holiday giving, where our community gives back to young people and we get to celebrate a Christmas with them if they might not get to do it somewhere else. So our program space, as I like to consider, is how we started and really what makes this space special. When people come in and they come into this room, it feels different because it is born and bred and completely integrated by the youth experience. So I don't know if my plans extend for 35 years, but we did just successfully get a strategic plan approved by our board that is a robust growth plan for the next 3 years, so 2026 through 2028. And I'm really excited to share that our strategic plan was informed by our community. We did focus groups with young people, we did surveys, we spoke to board members and donors and our partner organizations, our volunteers. We really covered the community and who has a vested interest in what Time Out Youth does for young people. Our community wants us to advocate for our young people. Now, we currently do that through making important statements against bad bills that come to the state. We do that by advocating. Whenever possible, I'll go to the General Assembly and argue against a bill that will harm our young people. And our young people are hungry for more of that advocacy work. They want protests. They want letters. They want us talking to legislators about what's happening to them, and also for them to be talked to about the bills that are impacting them. We have a strong focus on intersectional justice in this space, that our young people are impacted by everything that's happening. We have young people that are immigrants. We have young people that are disabled. We have young people that are targeted, particularly by this administration, outside of just what's their queer identity. So being able to talk about reproductive justice, anything that impacts them, means building strong partnerships. So what we're going to do in our first year is build that foundation. What do we already have? What's everyone doing? Where does Time Out Youth need to be? And what does our community support us doing in that space? And we'll spend that first year doing that with a goal of getting to what does advocacy look like here. We also have a robust plan for our housing expansion. It's a project we've been working on for the last 12 years, from when we started to even this past year, where we housed more young people than we've ever housed and offered more financial assistance. And now we're gonna do market research and figure out, does that mean purchasing property or renting and leasing property to young people? But we're gonna look to the community and our partnerships to say, our young people want us to offer housing where we create the eligibility terms and we allow them to have this space as safe as possible, not dealing with that out with potentially discriminatory landlords or restrictions against criminal history backgrounds, things that block them from getting opportunities. So we're spending that time utilizing these dollars that were being granted to determine what Time Out Youth housing looks like. And our mental health expansion, we have built a strong program and we want more. We want to be able to have young people not just come here for therapy, but come here for psychiatry, come here for psychological assessments or med assessments, any of the things that our clinicians deem would impact and improve their mental health in a greater way, in a time when gender-affirming care has been completely distorted in the media of what it means. And for us, it means letting a young person be who they are and giving them whatever tools they need to do that. And that for some might mean medication, for others it might mean therapy or support group, and we want to be able to offer that, and as much of it that we can in our space is what we want to do. So that's mental health expansion, advocacy, our housing expansion, and then our access. We have a lot of work to do in creating this space that is accessible to all young people, that speak different languages, that have different abilities. And so we are going to be auditing our space and our communications and our partners, that we can serve young people. When I think of who isn't coming in here, I think about multilingual speakers that speak past English. What does our staff need to do to change? What do we need to offer in translation and just accessibility in general, so that this space is for every queer young person? And our final plan, because none of this is possible without the governance of a board of directors, is for our board of directors to continue to change the way that they have changed over the last 4 years to reflect the community that we serve. They have have a strong commitment to board diversity and showing up with lived experience on our board, and also to back up the fundraising of all of this work. So another pillar is board diversity and fundraising. Our board is an amazing, engaged group of people that really want to support the work that we do, and will continue to recruit board members that have that passion and mission in mind. You know, working at a space that has had such a legacy, not just the 35 years, but the anchor that Time Out Youth is in this community, actually is a space of hope for me. Because when I think about what it takes to make this place go every day, what it takes, the dedicated adults, the young people that come into this space, the donors, the volunteers, the board, all the people that support this space, I think when I think of the 35 years, I think what commitment from a person in a basement, Tonda Taylor creating a space for young people to come and talk, to renting out a space in a church, to that nobody gave up. Not only did nobody give up, but we kept building. So when I think about that, I think we can go very far if we did that with so little, with just the idea that this was important, and looked to what other queer communities are doing around the country, and that we continue to do it. I think that we will be here for another 35 years, because that dedication didn't waver. As long as our young people are showing up here and telling us what they want and need, and we're helping them make it happen, we're going to keep doing this. Thank you so much for celebrating this milestone of 35 years with us. We truly couldn't do it without you, and I really invite you to join us for the next 35 years and follow along with all the exciting things that we're going to be doing.